Okay, so let's say you have this one thing that you really want to be consistent in and you just can't do it no matter how hard you try. Well, hack number one is that thing you want to be consistent in has to be tied to a personal value. And if you're doubting whether I'm right, let me just prove you wrong real quick. Let's take self-care or doing your makeup or even doing your skincare in the morning and at night as an example. You are so consistent with that. You do it all the time. And most of you even enjoy it and love it and want to keep buying more skincare products because social media glamorizes it. And because of that, it has in turn become a part of your personal values that tie into your values of I want to be beautiful, I want to have clear skin, I want to feel good about myself, I want to be in my feminine energy, I want to take care of myself. You value having or doing or being all of those things, and doing your skincare is the action of that, so you find it so easy and you do it every single day. But your work, on the other hand, which you can't be consistent in, you have no values around it. Your mindset instantly when you have to sit down and do some work is, oh, I have to work. Oh, I have to work all day for 8 hours. Oh, it's so boring. I wish I could do literally anything else. Who is ever going to be consistent when you think like that about something? Okay, so then how do we fix this? We turn doing that work task, let's say for example you have a business and you're really struggling to show up every single day to put in the work. It's not about I have to sit down and work on this business, I have to sit down and make 20 Instagram posts for the business in a month, because that just sounds so boring and so icky and so long and difficult. That task is now tied to the personal value of I'm just inevitably taking something off my vision board, which is going to get me closer to my goal. Or sitting down for 3 hours to make 20 Instagram posts to batch for the month means that I get to attract even more customers, which brings me more money, which then adds to my personal value of having financial abundance so that I can live my life in the way that I choose. How much more fun does that seem now? Another great example of being consistent once you tie it to your values is, for years, I hated healthy eating. Like, couldn't do it, hated it. I love comfort food, I love junk food. My diet was 90% of processed food. I am quite embarrassed to admit, and I just couldn't get around the eating whole foods, right? Now I do it so easily, and I'm completely turned off of junk food. I literally mostly eat just veggies and protein. And the reason it was so easy to become so consistent in that almost overnight was simply because I had learned so much about the dangers of eating unhealthy food and not having a healthy diet. I learned that it can increase your cortisol, it can cause a hormonal imbalance, it can cause inflammation in your body, in your face, it can even affect your appearance. Those are tied into my personal values. Now it's not about, oh, I have to sit down and eat a plate of broccoli. It's, I can't wait to eat the plate of broccoli because it's going to benefit me and my lifestyle in literally so many ways. Hack number 2 to becoming a consistent person is you need to prepare yourself for failure. Yes, I said that right, because consistency is not about perfection. The reason people always fall short from consistency is because they think they need to perform in the exact same way every single time. But girl, you are not a robot. You cannot show up every single day in the exact same way with the exact same thought and the same energy and the same vibe and the same ideas all the time. You're gonna have really good days where you're feeling on top of the world and you wanna work out for longer, and you're gonna have other days where you literally don't wanna move and you just wanna stay inside away from the big scary world. Both are completely okay. Both do not have to make you an inconsistent human being, because it's all about persistence. We said consistency by definition is about doing something for an extended period of time, right? It's about showing up for yourself every single day. Now we need to cater that to the fact that we are humans with emotions, with difficult things that go on in everybody else's lives, and we need to be able to hold space for ourselves to be able to deal with those things and still do everything we want to do. And that is where the power of varying routines comes into play. So let's take a morning routine, for example, right? A general morning routine, I want to wake up, I want to have my breakfast, I want to meditate, I want to move my body in some way, do some exercise. On the days where I'm feeling my best, I'm not going through a lot of stuff, I'm going to be aiming for that best routine where I'm ticking off everything I want to tick off. I'm going to push myself hard. On other days where I'm feeling low energy, life is stressing me out, I've got a lot on my plate, we're going to tick off all of the same things, but in a different capacity to also take care of ourselves. So we're gonna wake up earlier, but give ourselves an extra 30 minutes in bed. We're still gonna move our body, but instead of going to the gym for an hour, we'll do 30 minutes. And then you have your third routine, which is for your off days, right? That links me into my next point, which is all about check off the task, not the method. You want to be someone who meditates every single day? Fine. On the days that you're busy, your schedule is hectic, don't worry about meditating for 10 minutes and pulling out the guided meditation music and opening the app and finding a yoga mat or a patch of grass to sit on. Do it for 1 minute in your office chair. That's so easy. Who doesn't have the time to do that? And then becoming consistent in all of the things you want to do becomes a whole lot easier. Hack number 3, the reason that humans can't be consistent is because, especially in this day and age, we are programmed and wired and we have grown accustomed to immediate rewards and immediate dopamine spikes, especially because of apps like TikTok and just social media in general, and having phones where everything we would ever want is available at our fingertips within seconds, within minutes, whether it's food, whether it's video, a piece of information. So then when we have to sit down and show up for something every single day, or we're training to run a marathon or learn a new language, that takes time. There's no quick fix around it. You can't chat GPT that. And then that's what makes the task icky. Of course you don't want to do it. Of course you don't want to be consistent. So the way around this is to start adding rewards in throughout your day to give your brain that dopamine spike that it is so badly craving. So one way I do this every single day is when I have a large chunk of work to do, e.g. writing one of my self-help newsletters, which takes literally 5 or 6 hours, what I say to myself is, you just have to sit down, do the first chunk, and then you're allowed to open all your parcels. I want to open my new clothes. I want to see what I got in the mail, but I'm not allowed to do it until I sit down to do the thing. Immediately, that makes me want to get through it so I can go and do the thing that I actually want to do. Same for the days that I don't want to go to the gym to work out. I'm like, if you just go to the Pilates class, go to the gym, you can go on a nice sunny walk after and treat yourself to a matcha. And I'm like, instantly, yes, I want to go. You have to give yourself that incentive consistently to be able to consistently do a task, at least in the beginning stages, and then that habit will start to form, and then you can start getting away from those rewards. Hack number 4 is to actually plan for consistency. Too many people make the mistake of thinking, in 2025, I really want to be consistent with working out and being my healthiest self. Okay, how? What time? Where? When? What's the routine? How's it going to fit into your schedule? If you had a really busy day, then how are you going to go about it? And I find that when we're planning for consistency, let's say every single morning you're going to wake up at 7 a.m. and you really want to meditate in your morning routine. Okay, let's set a time and place of that to really solidify it in your brain and make associations that helps making that habit feel more consistent. For example, in the morning, the second you wake up, you don't even have to crawl out of bed yet, okay? Alarm goes off, you turn it off, you stay in bed, sit up, and do 2 minutes of meditation or 2 minutes of visualization or 2 minutes of EFT tapping, then you get out of bed and go about your day. That way, there's no thinking or worrying about how am I going to be consistent and how am I going to do this thing, because it's falling into your daily routine and you know exactly where and when you're going to do it, no ifs and buts. And this links into my next hack, which is my favorite. If you want to be consistent with something, you need to add it onto a task or habit that you already do that you are super consistent with. A great example of this is brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you wake up, you do it first thing in the morning, okay? Nobody needs to remind you, it's the easiest thing in the world to be consistent with. You can then pair that onto something that you are struggling to be consistent with. I would always forget to look at my vision board every single day. If you don't look at your vision board, there was literally no point in making it. It's not gonna work. The visualization isn't there. The manifestation is not happening, girl, okay? We need to look at it, but I'd always forget. And you also need to look at it for an extended period of time. You can't just look at it while walking across your room and just seeing it in the side of your eye. You need to look at it for like minutes. You need to take it in. You need to look at those images and place yourself in those images. You need to start building up an emotional connection to how those images on your board make you feel to actually be able to manifest them. To this day, I even did it this morning. While I'm brushing my teeth, my bathroom door is right over there. I come out, I stand by the vision board. While I'm brushing my teeth for 2 minutes, I'm staring at every single image. It's the easiest thing in the world. It takes no extra time in my day. I don't need to remember it, and the habit is formed because the second I start brushing my teeth, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I know what to look at. Another example is I always listen to high frequency healing music when I take my morning shower, because I'm not going to listen to that music on my daily commute. I'm not going to do it when I'm trying to walk and strut through the streets like a fashion model, okay? I'm not going to feel like it, but I know I want to listen and heighten my vibration. Doing it morning shower, associate them together, you're always going to remember. The next hack is to remember the consequence. This is so powerful. The way this makes me so consistent in my habits, and what I mean by remember the consequence is you need to know what happens if you don't do what you're setting out to do. If you want to be your healthy self, if you want to be able to go to the gym every single day, but you just aren't a gym girly, I want you to start researching, watching videos, search on ChatGPT. What happens if someone doesn't work out consistently? What effect does that have on them? Let it give you the ick because that is what will motivate you. For example, to this day, I still hate going to the gym. I will never be a gym girly. It's just not in me. Now I go so consistently because I did enough research to understand if I don't go to the gym at least 3 times a week, I'm gonna feel sluggish. It's gonna impact my energy. It's gonna impact my health. I'm gonna have high cortisol. I also know people who go to the gym, it helps them hack their happy hormones. Why would I not want to be the happiest version of myself and be the most highest, fully functioning human being while all of their hormones are in the best place simply because they just went to do the 30, 45-minute workout?